breaking overnight. CNN projecting a Republican win in the special election in Tennessee for an open House seat. So why are Democrats smiling? Republican Matt Van Epps beat Democrat Afton Ben. But this is a very, very red district that President Trump won by 22 points just last year. Overnight, the Republican won by 9 points. With us now, CNN political commentator and Tennessee native Brad Todd, also Democratic strategist Matt Bennett. So, Brad, I just want to put up the list of special elections that have been in the House over the last year or so. You have Florida 1, 17-point swing toward the Democrats. Florida 6, a 19-point swing toward the Democrats. Virginia 11, a 16-point swing. Arizona 7, a 12-point swing. In Tennessee last night, a 13-point swing. If you're seeing, 12 to 19-point swings in these House races, what might that mean for 2026?
Well, in 2009, I was working on House Republicans' efforts to take over the U.S. Congress. We lost every single special election in 2009, and then we won the majority in 2010. So I wouldn't get too comfortable if I were Democrats. This seat actually is not as red as that Trump number might imply. Marsha Blackburn only won this seat by half a point when she won her Senate seat in 2018. So there is layers of Democrat strength in the district. The lesson for Democrats to take away is Afton Ben is a left-wing lunatic. She said she was uncomfortable with prayer. She said she was trying to bully police and ICE. She said she hated country music. She was exactly the wrong candidate. They had two better candidates, and they picked the nut job. And I think Democrats are going to do that in House races all over the country.
Well, let me just very quickly, because I want to get mad on this. If they picked what you consider to be the worst candidate, and they still swung 13 points blue, that can't be a good
That's
omen.
off the Trump number, though. This is a special election. Then the new alignment, Republican voters are low propensity voters, much more than Democrats. We're always going to have these special elections be a little closer.
So, Matt, what about the point? Because it has come up that I'm not sure that anyone realistically thought that a Democrat was going to win this district, and a 13-point swing is pretty good. But could a Democratic candidate have done even better had they been someone more in the middle?
Oh, without doubt. I mean, this is the thing that we have got to avoid doing again as we head into the midterms. We cannot nominate people who are too far left in districts that are red like this one or purple, where we have a chance of winning. This one was really tough. It's not clear anybody could have won this as a Democrat, but it is absolutely clear that a more moderate Democrat could have done better. I mean, Afton Ben was saying things like she hated Nashville and she hated country music, and she was talking terrible things about police, and she called herself a radical, a clip that was used over and over and over in the ads against her. So we can't nominate radicals in moderate places. We got to nominate people that match their district. And if we do, we can win. Just one data point on this. In the Trump era, in the last 10 years, the groups on the far left have flipped zero seats from red to blue, while the New Democrats, the moderates in the House, have flipped 99. So that tells you what we've got to do.
I want to ask you about what the messaging might be going forward and how a comment from President Trump on affordability, may factor in. Listen.
There's this fake narrative that the Democrats talk about, affordability. They just say the word. It doesn't mean anything to anybody. They just say it. Affordability. I inherited the worst inflation in history. There was no affordability. Nobody could afford anything. The word affordability is a con job by the Democrats.
All right, Matt, how many ads is that going in?
All of them. I mean, listen, you and I have talked about this a million times during the Biden era. I came on and said, well, look, the macroeconomic number's pretty good, but you can't do that. When you're the president, you cannot pretend that people's economic pain isn't real. We tried it last year. It was a disaster. Trump's trying it now. It's going to be a disaster for him. And look, I think it's part of the reason you're seeing this kind of disgusting, barbaric language around immigration and the Somali community. He's trying to distract attention from the thing that's really hurting him, which is affordability.
Brad, when you heard affordability, it's a con job. Level of blood pressure increase at that moment?
Well, I think the middle part of that soundbite was right. When President Trump said, I inherited the worst inflation ever from Joe Biden, and we're working on it, I think the public will give him rope on that. But he can't tell them that not to believe their lying eyes. He can't tell them to say prices are good enough. But they will accept this was bad when I got here. We're working on it.
All right. I do want to ask about something that also came out of this meeting, which was President Trump a couple times appearing to nod off a little bit, get a little sleepy. I do morning television. I nap all the time. So, like, I'm pro nap, right? But I guess my question to you, Brad, as a communication strategy, at what point does maybe the White House not put him in situations where he's got to sit for 3-hour meetings and listen to people drone on?
If you watch the whole meeting, he was very engaged throughout the whole meeting.
Except when he was nodding off.
Except that he keeps a very vigorous schedule. Right. I think that's driven by him, not by the staff. I think he's in a hurry. He knows he's got a short amount of time in office. I think his schedule's driven by him. And yes, naps are good.
Matt, optics?
Sounds familiar. You know, we heard a lot about how Joe Biden had a very tough schedule. He's flying around the world, and maybe he was going to nod off because of that. Look, he's 78 years old. It's not surprising, but it is important, and presidents need to be alert during cabinet meetings, and he was not.
And you have to laugh at all of Marco Rubio's jokes. If he's going to have multiple jobs, at least you can laugh at his jokes. Brad, Todd, Matt Bennett, great to see you both. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Kate?